Almost 100 years ago, one of history's greatest economists made a bold prediction. By 2030, we'd only be working 15 hours a week. That economist was John Maynard Keynes. And he was spectacularly wrong. But here's the twist. Keynes wasn't wrong about why we could work less. He was wrong about us. Back in 1930, in the dark shadow of the Great Depression, Keynes imagined a future where technology would explode productivity. Machines, automation, abundant energy, innovations so powerful they'd slash the hours we needed to work. On that part, he nailed it. Automation, computers, global communications. Productivity in the US has soared several times over. And yet, here we are, working almost the same hours as a century ago, with more people in the workforce than ever before. So what happened? Why didn't we take the leisure Keynes promised us? Are we addicted to work? Do we choose more consumption over more free time? Keynes missed something. Economies don't just automate old jobs away. They invent new ones, especially in the service sector. Many of them questionable in value. A third of British workers think their job is meaningless. Entire gadgets, like mouse jigglers, are selling so people can pretend to be productive. Have we already achieved the 15-hour work week, but buried it under meaningless tasks just to look busy? Yes, work hours have dropped since 1929. But here's the catch. Most of that drop happened mid-20th century. Since 1980, hours have barely moved. And remember, more women joined the workforce. In 1948, just 32% of working-age women in the U.S. worked. Now it's 58%. So even if individuals work a little less, more people are working overall. Why? Economists talk about two forces. Income effect. When wages rise, you can work less and still live well. Substitution effect. When wages rise, the cost of taking leisure also rises. Skipping work means giving up more money. Over the last century, the substitution effect has won. We work more to afford more. And our definition of a decent life has changed. Cars, holidays, smartphones, eating out, heating, washing machines. None of these were common in the 1930s. Work isn't just about survival. It's about status. Long hours are still seen as virtuous. Part-time work is often stigmatized. And in many industries, the work itself? Dubious. Anthropologist David Graeber called them bullshit jobs. Roles so pointless that even the person doing them can't explain why they exist. Corporate bureaucracy. Middle management. Endless reports and PowerPoints no one reads. It's a feeling so universal that it's inspired films like Office Space and shows like The Office and Severance. Surveys confirm it. 53% of financial workers, 46% in marketing, say their job isn't making a meaningful contribution. And yet these jobs exist. Why? Because in many offices, presence equals performance. If your role's value is hard to measure, the safest move is to look busy. We stretch tasks to fill the day. A perfect example of Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available. In 2025, 58% of workers admit to ghost working, pretending to work. 65% engage in productivity theater. The result? Employers pay for output that isn't really there. Employees waste huge chunks of their lives faking it. Could the 4-day workweek fix this? Trials across the UK, Europe, and beyond suggest yes. Same pay, 80% of the time, same or better productivity. Sick days fall, morale soars. Top talent flocks to these companies. It's proof that much of the 9-to-5 grind is unnecessary. But, it's not for every industry. Manufacturing, healthcare, retail, they can't just cut a day without big adjustments. And pilots are voluntary. Success stories often come from companies already suited to the change. Keynes was right about one thing. Our technology today does allow us to work less than ever in human history. And yet we still organize our lives like survival is at stake. Why? Maybe inertia. Maybe fear. Maybe we've built an economy that runs best when we're always a little too busy. But time is the most valuable resource we have. And the question Keynes asked 100 years ago still hangs in the air. If we can afford to work less, why don't we? If you found this video thought-provoking, hit subscribe to Inner Economics. We dig deep into the stories behind the numbers, the hidden forces shaping your money, your time, and your future.